Okay, let's do this.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Kosi and I am not alone today. I'm with one of the coolest people in the planet that I've met here in London.
Where's the person? I can't even.
I don't know, he's right
Where's
here.
the coolest person, man? Yeah. I want to meet the coolest person as well. Where's the coolest person?
Me too, I would love to. He's right here, don't downplay it, coach.
Listen, I don't know what she's saying. She's gassing, but it's a pleasure, it's an honor actually to be here. Surrounded like in this beautiful environment, and yeah.
First things first. How did we meet? Okay, so here's a bit of a backstory, guys. I've been in London for a year and 6 months now. Okay,
Yeah.
time's flying.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about the story, but I'll tell the story.
Right.
I moved here, and the mandate was because I used to train in South Africa with my dad, especially. And he gave me a mandate. The first thing was, okay, find an apartment, but find a gym.
How is it?
As well, which was quite strange because the way
I don't know that.
the way I found my apartment was, what's the closest apartment to the gym? It's a bit crazy because you kind of want to find an apartment first, then the gym. But like, I wanted to make sure where I stay is very close to the gym because London's cold and I didn't want to give myself excuses. It really needed to be a part of my routine as soon as possible.
Right.
So I was walking past the gym and I saw you train Fit Lab, the girls, the squad, my favorite people as well. And they were training like boot camp stuff, but it looked so cool, guys. It was so crazy. And I was like, this is what I like. Like, I don't like the typical cardio, but we need to train like we're preparing for the apocalypse. Like, if the world had to end and zombies were chasing us, like, we need to be ready. We need to be ready. So I was like, okay, this is the kind of apocalypse training that I'm looking for. And then I was like, okay, let me go in and ask, But in my mind, I was going to be like, okay, this is who I am. How much is the fee? Let's train. Let's do this, right? And guys, coach. Okay, I'm the only one who says coach because coach makes sense because he is a coach. Henry was like, hey, yeah, I'll let you know. Let's see if you're a good fit. Let's see. Let's see if it works for you to be with. I was like, first of all, does this guy know who I am? Like, have you met me? Like, why are you making me audition to be part of the girls? But obviously now it makes sense. Like, so that's how I met you. Okay, and obviously the first question is like, why is that your philosophy when it comes to like training people, and what is it that you look for when someone comes to you for training, and how do you know when you found it?
All right, first things first, before I actually answer that question, I just want to say there's something I actually didn't know about. Obviously, your father saying, get an apartment and find a gym. That for me is a massive tip, like parents that actually do encourage their kids to actually take fitness as a priority in their lifestyle. I did not know that, I think a lot of parents, we need to do that, encourage our kids. Once you set the tone in terms of like the fitness and the well-being, letting them know that this is priority over everything else, I understand it becomes a habit. And for a father to actually say that, for me, that's like a massive tick. I did not know that. So salute you, father, if you're watching this. Like, serious ratings. I think a lot of parents can learn from you. We can learn from your dad because, a lot of us tend to see like the fitness side and everything as the back end, rather than that priority, because that's something that, that gives us that longevity in life, and that's something that kind of helps us with everything that we deal with, on a day-to-day. But okay, back to the question. What was the question again?
The question is, what is it that you look for in potential clients?
Right.
How do you know when you found it?
All right. I'll tell a story actually. Okay. When I first started as a trainer, I had one client, right? When I first started, like one client, and I ended up dropping that client, and everyone was looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Like, you got one client, you need to be like, I dropped her because she wasn't serious, she wasn't consistent. I said to her, keep your money, save your money, and she was shocked. She was like, she's never seen anything like that before. So for me, I think from that point, it's always been a thing for me. I can't speak for everyone else. I need to see that you want it, because I know what I'm going to bring to the table. I know in terms of the value I'm going to bring to you. I know how far I'm going to push you. I need to know that you want it. I don't want it to be something that you come today and tomorrow you're not going to be there. And in terms of course, it's seen as an audition, I had to make sure that she's the right fit. You understand? Like, it's, I know it sounds weird, but people always, like, yo, like, this guy's actually serious. Like, I tell like clients, like sometimes, you know, I don't even think, you know, with the right like fit, I think you should find someone else to train you or whatever. And up to now, people still find that weird. But for me, what I look for is to know that you have that hunger, that drive. You know, tell me what it is that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Show me that you're ready to kind of commit to it, and I'll give you everything I got. Because I think for me, I always make sure that I give people much more than they actually are there for, if that makes sense, in terms of value. Yeah. It's not just the weight loss you're gonna hit, it's not just the weight gain. You're gonna learn so many things in between in terms of your journey that you're gonna be thinking, wow, you know, I've gained so much more than I actually paid for. So for me is you have to have that drive, you have to be very consistent, and yeah, you have to kind of like be that, you know. I want to be able to kind of like tap into your mental, tap into your physical, and it wouldn't break you. Even if it's close to breaking, you're thinking like, fuck me, I'm gonna go again. You know, part of my French, but yeah.
Okay, but how do you know? Like, because I get that, the hunger, the drive, but when you look at an individual and it's the first time that they're training, is it how they respond to certain instructions, or how do they respond to your style of training, or how does it like sort of come through tangibly so that you can be like, it's not gonna work?
I have to monitor you for a few days. You know what I mean? Yeah. It can't be just one day, because one day you can't tell me every story that I want to know. You understand? I'll see you the first time. Let me see how you respond to the cues of the workout. Who knows? You might not respond well, but that's fine because you're new. So I'm not expecting you to come in and be, you know, an Olympian straight away. But if you come in it further, the second time you come again, you keep trying. The third time you come and keep trying. I can see a pattern there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And once I've seen that pattern, then I can be like, all right, cool, you know what, she really wants it.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. So what is it? Because you are able to drive, you know, you say you matched with people that you want to match with, and you have your community. Right. How is it that you were able to get to the point where you are so almost resilient? How do you think, let's say for example, like everything that you've been through has got you to the point that you're resilient? I'm not saying like the past hurts or the past, but what was it? What was it that just made you think?
Man, I don't think we don't even have time for me to go through all of them. Yeah, I mean, I think every chapter in my life and every obstacle I've actually faced has always teaches me something, and it builds that resilience in me. Like every day, I still feel like I still got more to learn. I still got a lot more hurdles to kind of jump. And all those things has kind of made me realize that everything that we go through becomes a part of us. You know what I mean? Some of us tend to ignore those things, but rather than embracing it, like that's why I always say I like to embrace pain now. Wow. You know what I mean? If it doesn't hurt, then I feel like if everybody else can do it freely, then there isn't any substance behind it. Yeah. You understand? So I always see every obstacle, everything that I face, and that's kind of what's helped me build a resilience. You know, it's made me feel like, you know what, all right, this is where everyone is at. I'm gonna be there. You understand? Okay, it's gonna take so much more to get to that level, but I have to do it. That's why I always look at people that's so far ahead of me. You know what I mean? Like what they're doing. Like I look at their habits, because I read a lot of books. I study the patterns of like successful people. And when I see what they do, then I always try to not mimic that, but I always feel like, okay, I'm still kind of here. They're there, and it's taking them so much to actually get to that level. So I feel like there's still a long way to go. So I think that's what's kind of helped me building that resilience. And
I think that's so profound. Guys, that is so profound, right? And I think it's one thing to say it, because a lot of people say it, but to see it on a daily basis. And people often ask me, why do you show up at training? So the other day my flatmate was asking me, because I skipped training on Monday.
Yeah, she was slacking though.
On Thursday, but I had good reason. Yeah. But she said to me, why do you always feel so bad for missing training? She's like, aren't you like paying for training? Like, why are you acting like it's like, oh my gosh, I was really upset. I was like, oh man, I have to miss training, but I also need to take this break. Like, and I said to her, it's not just about, oh, I'm paying a trainer, I'm a trainer and I'm gonna hate it. It's a privilege. I get to train with someone who walks the talk. Like, and I've said this to you before, like, just to see you be resilient we had the lockdown situation last year, March, and I thought, okay, gyms are closed, it's done, it's over for us. Oh well, we're all gonna just get fat And coach was like, okay, I've got a plan. We're going to go to the stairs. We're going to go to the park. And I was like, if someone can take a terrible situation at the time, because everyone was hopeless, and to turn it into a way we can train in a way that we've never done before. We used rocks, we used benches, we used trees at some point. Like, we used anything that we could.
We used trees. We're like punch. You had to tie like,
and he tied
like a boxing thing there. We had to punch. And I was like,
crazy, this is a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but it's the sort of crazy that is so unique. And not everybody has that level of crazy, and those are the kind of people that I want to surround myself with. And so if I'm saying, oh man, I feel so bad because I'm missing training, it's because I'm missing the crazy that I need to tap into for me to realize anything is possible and that nothing is off limits. So I just thought I'd put that out there to say, look guys, this guy walks the talk. Like, it's not just words. Crazy, he's a little crazy, but it helps. And I like what you said about the mindset thing, which leads me to my next question. Because a lot of people ask this, like, how important is your mindset when it comes to like eating well and training well? Like, if I show up and my mindset isn't correct, what's probably going to happen like the rest of the day?
You know, for me, see, that question has a lot of like I think connotations to it. I think because everyone plays on the word mindset now, and it's become, when you go on social media, mindset. You understand that?
Yeah, it's
sometimes,
a buzzword.
Yeah, it's become a buzzword now. Like, I feel like it's starting to lose the value of what that mindset is. Sometimes a lot of people tend to quote, okay, mindset, but when you look at yourself, like, have you built that mental fortitude? And I always use certain things, like my daughter, for example, like, I have her like running up a hill and things like that. You know what I mean? People looking at me like, yo, this guy is nuts. You know, I like parents like that. Parents, they stood there with their kids, like watching me. I have my daughter run up the hill. Now, I mean, one parent come to me like, oh, he trained. I'm like, nah, just me and my daughter. And they just stood there for a while. They were shocked. You know what I mean? So, get back to your question in terms of like mental. You have to be realistic with yourself. That's what I always say to people. Like, I think we feed into this notion of saying things, but not actually actioning the things we say. You know what I mean? It's like we always say everyone says everything. Social media has made it very possible for us to kind of like post a lot of things that we think other people want to see, but behind the scenes, are we really actually doing the work? You know what I mean? We might just showcase something that is kind of like pretty and nice, but are we actually doing that grit, that work that can actually help us build our mental fortitude? So I think you have to be realistic with yourself, and I'm always kind of my worst critic. Like, I always look at myself, am I actually doing what it takes to get to that next level? When I look at my clients, am I actually doing any what you call it? Am I doing them any favors? Am I pushing them? Am I helping them to get to that next level? Am I adding value to what it is that they want to accomplish, them actually being here? I always look at every single person. I go to bed with that thought. I wake up every morning with that thought. You understand? So for me, everyone, I feel like, owes themselves that responsibility to look at themselves and say, okay, what is it I want to accomplish? And understand what it will take to get that. I think we don't understand. If someone comes to say, okay, I want to lose weight, and people say, all right, cool, come, I'm going to take you on, you're going to lose weight. But I ask you the question, have you actually researched the people that you're looking up to that has lost the weight, understand their journey? Sometimes when you understand the hard work people have put behind the scenes, you'll be prepared for it. But when you haven't looked at those things, you just look at the 2 weeks to get in abs, a week to get in abs, the before and after, you think it's easy. So you come into the situation with no expectations. Then when you get hit with something that you can't deal with, you feel like, I can't deal with this, is too much, no, I'm not going to wake up that early and everything. So mentally you're already defeated. So I feel like you have to be realistic with yourself. You have to ask yourself certain questions, do your due diligence, do your research. The people you look up to, the people you look at, like, understand the process you're about to embark on. And if you feel like, I still want to embark on that journey, it becomes relatively easy for you to actually do so.
Understand the process.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah. Do you have bad days?
Yeah, of course, man. Seriously. Yeah, of course I do. Everyone has bad days. I just don't let people see my bad. I think we all have bad days. Like, everyone does. Anyone that tells you they don't have bad days, lying to you. I have bad days. I have terrible days. I have worse days. Like, I think I'll say I'm probably one of the worst people that actually have like bad days, because I carry so much on myself. I put so much on myself. Yeah. You understand? But obviously, when I come to the sessions, I don't let it show, because I am here as a service to you guys. I'm here. This is like, these guys are here, you know what, for me. They're here to actually get work done. They're here for a reason. So I am here to actually like perform a service. So I'm not gonna be in like, sometimes I'm actually in a terrible mood sometimes. Like, I'll be snapping at people sometimes, man.
Guys, he be shouting at us like, come say.
Sometimes, man, I'll be tweaking though. I'll be like snapping at people and everything. But it's not because of my mood, but it's because I want them to do good. Because I can see the potential in every single one, and I want them to actually explore that and see, you know what, man, I can actually do this. I did this. So to answer your question, I definitely have bad days, man. Like, I probably say like a lot of the times, but I think I just.
How do you self-regulate?
By keeping the dream alive, man. By keeping the hope alive. You understand? I'm realizing that, all right, I'm still working on myself. It's still a journey. Like, I think I'm a hopeful person, because I have these like dreams and goals I aspire to accomplish, even though I have my down days and everything. And next day or 2 days later, I'm thinking, all right, cool. And then let's get back on it. Yeah.
If we move was a person.
Yeah, that's it. If we move was a person. Definitely. I'll be that person, because I'm always on the move, man. Like, real talk. Everyone will tell you that. I can't really chill. I'm always on the go.
I feel like we've spoken about a lot of deep things.
Yeah.
We need to be more practical. Yeah. What is your response to people that say, I mean, I'm in the corporate world. You know, I've had my days where I'm like, too busy, but because I know, or because I've seen you tap into your resilience, I don't think I'm oftentimes the best person to ask, because I'm also kind of a little bit crazy, where sometimes I'll like not sleep because I want to go to train, or because but if someone says to you, I'm really too busy to train, I'm really too busy to eat well, without saying to them like really prioritize, do better, how do you give someone practical steps for them to understand that it's possible if you prioritize it well?
I'll give you an example. I have a client that I think we always go back and forth, because he always tells me that he doesn't have time for this, doesn't have time for this or the other. And I always say, like, how valuable is your life to you? You understand? I think when we always say we don't have time for things like, and obviously there's a quote that we always make time for the things that we actually want, and the thing that we need. You always make time for that thing. So if your life, if your health is not a priority, then by all means possible, you will never make time for that. That's simple. But if your life, if your health and your well-being is a priority, you will always make time. You will figure out a way, because it's not complicated. You understand? It's all about habits and rituals. You understand? Once you say, all right, cool, I'm gonna start tweaking my habits, and have a little, I call it what's the word, when you take an inventory of your life. You know what I mean? You write it down and say, okay, these are my habits, right, currently. How do if I want to be better, I want to better myself, I want to live a healthier life, what are the changes, what are the sacrifices am I willing to make? If you're not willing to sacrifice, then your health or your well-being isn't a priority for you. But if you're willing to sacrifice a few things to kind of get to that goal, then that means you're quite serious about the longevity of your health.
I'm just taking all of that in. Sorry, guys. It's a lesson for me. I think the biggest thing when you interview someone, people, you kind of think, oh, what is everyone going to learn from this? But right now I just feel like I'm also just absorbing so much. But without digressing, what is a motto you live by, or a quote, or even if it's from a lyric, like, what is the line? Like, what's your line that you're like, this is my motto? Or maybe there might be a few, I don't know.
You know what? To be honest, I don't think there really is one single motto I live by. I live by a series of like quotes, mottos, and because like I have a ritual where I listen to motivational like speakers, and there's this quote by Eric Thomas where it says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will succeed. So like, and that has always been like for me, that word, like, I obviously when he said it first, it was more like a passing statement, but I kept listening to it over and over. I was like, well, that's actually deep, because he put that into context where he said that I think you put it into context and it made so much sense. If you really want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, like, you will. There's no way, because you're going to move everything that's in front of you out of the way. You know what I mean? You're going to embrace all the pain. You're going to push through it. You're going to cry. You're going to, like, you know, you're going to find and figure out a way. Yeah. And I think for me, that's always kind of like the ultimate, like, line I live by. You know what I mean? By any means possible. And the fact that we're in a generation whereby everything is accessible to us. You understand? So you can figure out a way. If you can't figure out a way, there's someone close to you that knows something. You understand? So if that is important, going back to the, you know, prioritizing certain things. If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you will succeed. So it's just about how bad you really want it. So I think,
I like that. That is quite the quote to live by.
Yeah.
I know that you've mentioned before, even on your stories and just in real life, that it was tough really growing up for you. And you mentioned like being in a hostel and being in a position where it was literally fight or flight. You know, if you could go back and speak to the younger you, what is it that you'd want to say, or you know, if you could just, like, looking back on that moment, what comes to mind, and just seeing how far you've come now, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I would say follow things through. I think one thing about me is I always had ideas of doing things, but I always seem to stop short because I always jump onto the next idea without actually, like, completing that thing. What I always say to my younger self, like, follow through. Whatever it is you have in mind, see it to the very end. You understand? And I think that's something I feel like I've always said a lot of things I wanted to do and this and that. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people actually succeed off of the advice I've given them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like my clients and everything. Like when I give them advice, I see them succeed off of that. You know what I mean? I think for me, it was just following it through, regardless of how, because I've got a short attention span. So like, the fun bit is fine, but once it starts getting a bit like tedious, I start off like, I just lose interest and I move on to the next thing. Yeah. So I think what I always say to myself is follow things through, regardless of how fun and how if it's something that you really want to do, be passionate about. Follow it, like you should cross that finish line. Yeah. It don't really matter how hard it is. Like just even though everyone has gone through it, like finished it and you were the back of the back, cross that finish line. Yeah, follow it through, yeah.
Because I read a quote this morning, actually, that it's usually 10%, like right now in the world that we live in, you need 10% talent and 90% consistency.
That's it.
And consistency is really just that, like the getting up, the showing up. And it's tough, especially in areas, and we've had a conversation about this as well, like in areas where you fall short, or in areas that aren't necessarily your area of expertise. Like I know the training, that's your niche. But let's say if you had to, you know, start a podcast or a channel, it's gonna take so much more out of you. And I think that's like the digging deep is really something that, you know, it's something that I'm learning as well. And I think just that accountability, you know, helps. But yeah, I like that. Follow through.
Yeah, follow through, man.
So,
when she hits you with a so, you're thinking, what the hell is coming next?
So, Coach, the other day, guys, I need to give context to the people. So, I posted Coach on my stories. I don't usually post Coach. I just post training, blah, morning routine, blah, blah. Post Coach on my story. Coach is talking about something James Clear said about mindset, athlete, but we're so used to the speech, like as you know, the girls in training, it's more like noise to us sometimes. And then, you know, some South African girls on the stories are like, hey, this guy.
Don't listen to her, man. She's actually guessing, though.
Cozy, what's your answer? What do you say? What do you say? The girls are asking, like, are you available? Are you single? What's your type? What do you look for?
Listen, I don't have a type. I don't know. You know what? Honestly speaking, I don't have a type. But like for me, it's like right now, I'm actually like, because I'm focused and just trying to make a lot of things happen. You know what I mean? Like literally, like there's so much that I'm trying to do that I feel like anyone in the picture would kind of doing like them a disservice. Because when you with someone, you want to be there with a person, you want to be there for the person, you want to spend that quality time, you want to do a lot of things. You know what I mean? So I think for me, it's like, because there's so many things, like my mind, man, is just, I'm telling you, man, like, sometimes I feel like I just want to like, I wanted to hit the off button. I don't know how to do it. Like real talk, I don't really know how to hit the off button. I like to do. I just switch it off and just live a little, you know. But it's just that I feel like I'm responsible for a lot of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm responsible for a lot of people. Like a lot of people kind of look forward to kind of like what it is, what's going to be the next thing, and whatever I'm working towards is for like people, like you know what I mean, because I want to create this massive community that can actually come and share their ideas, and you can watch everyone grow. You understand? So I think like that for me is kind of like priority right now.
You heard that, ladies.
But who knows in the future? You know what I mean? But
please,
you know what I mean? Don't listen to this one,
guys. You heard the man.
Don't listen to this one right now. But.
Please, I'm tired of being the middleman trying to organize. If anything,
nah, she's gassing.
I just thought I'd share the message with Coach. But what you said about your mind, right? And not being able to shut it off. How does it feel? Does it feel sometimes that your mind can be the best place to live and the worst? I know I'm going to the deep stuff, but I often feel like the mind can be the best place to live and the worst place to live because of that self-talk. Like, do you feel that way as well when you said that like you wish you could switch it off?
Like, to be honest, sometimes you feel like you overcome it to people. You understand? And it's not to take anything from anyone, but sometimes you feel like you overcome it to people that sometimes I feel like I've been through a lot of things in life whereby I give, because when I give to people, man. Like, I will be there for the person. I'll be there for everyone. Like, everyone that's been around me will share the same sentiment. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be there for people, but sometimes when you look, it's like, man, like, you look at yourself, you're like, you know, you don't really spend too much time with yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're always thinking of how you can actually help progress people's lives, how you can add so much value, how you can, like, when you see like a lot of people going through stuff, like, okay, let's share ideas. Like, for me, I want to create like a think tank, you know what I mean, whereby everyone comes together, put ideas on the table, and people will just help each other out and just kind of make everyone's idea kind of like a reality. You understand? Because for me, I believe that I'm here in service to others, you know? But like I said, sometimes in your mind, because you're always thinking, because I'm always thinking, sometimes it can be a bad thing. When I say bad thing, because like there's no stopping, man. It's like I don't know how to I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to switch it up and say, you know what, this whole week I'm not gonna do anything. Even when I'm on holiday, I'm still thinking, all right, what's the next move? What's the next thing? So sometimes I think it's God's pros and its cons, though.
It does. But I also believe that it's been planted in your heart for a reason. There's a reason why we want the things we want, not because they exist. So I think it's just a matter of getting it done somehow, following through.
Following through, man. It's very hard. I can't lie, but
someone's got to do it, right? Some people can sleep peacefully at night knowing they've done the bare minimum, and some people don't. It's a gift and a curse.
I'm
but
delighted though.
Exactly. To just lighten up the mood, and before we close this off, because we are rambling, take me through. I know you don't rest as well, but what are some of the what's something you do in your downtime? What do you do for fun? I know there's probably very little time that you leave for fun.
I like to have fun. Like, you're saying that, like, I do like to have fun. Like, if it's time to go play tennis, I'll play tennis. Time to go play basketball with my friends, I'll play basketball. It's time to go swimming, I'll swim. Time to go to shisha. I know obviously we're in the health space, but you know what I mean? I'll tell my truth, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go smoke shisha with my friends. It's time like party, I'll do it, go on holiday, go to like adventurous stuff, like go ape. Do tough murder. Like, I do quite a lot of things, but once it's planned though. But other than that, it's just thinking. You know, I'm just in my own head. You know, but other than that, I do like to have fun. Like to go explore and just do things with people. You know what I mean? Explore like different restaurants, and I like to go out, just try out different things in different areas, man. But
love that. He honestly has the best time in London. Like, you, and also I think like you turn, like, your training is also sort of playful as well, so it doesn't feel like hard work.
So she says.
Well, it does feel
everybody looks like, what you mean? Like, that shit is hard though.
It is hard, but I understand the method in the madness, and I think it's such an important lesson as well, that whoever's training you as well, you know, if you're watching this and you can't get a train, or you're trying to get someone to hold you accountable, they need to explain why you are running from there to there, why you're lifting this thing. What's the purpose of this? And I think you do a good job in translating the message why, because I know I'm tired, I feel like crap, like work is kicking my ass, but the why is so much stronger than the excuses that I have no choice but to show up. And I think you really do that so well. So thanks, Coach.
Ooh, we see that. Now, but you know what? In all honesty, you know, I mean, for someone that's been a year and 6 months, you know, I think she's probably doing more than people that have been here for a bit longer, because I think she understands who she is. She understands where she's trying to get to. You understand? Though she's kind of like being a bit lazy when it comes to a few things. I've told her to do.
With what?
Yeah, I mean, she's been I'd say a bit more relaxed, not even lazy, relaxed, you know.
With what? Are you calling me out?
Yeah, well, the things I say the
like
things I said already. Yeah, I told her at the past, I told her, you know what I mean, the training, because she showed me the passion for the things that when someone shows me the passion for what they like doing, I like to bring that out of them. You understand? I wouldn't put things onto people, but when you show me this is something you want, I will do my best as a friend and someone that's in that circle to help make that your reality. That makes sense, because if that's the case, then I'm not really a good friend. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if everyone around me, I feel like they have to succeed, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? If someone says, okay, hey, this is what I want to do, I'm gonna be on you till you do it. You might not like me, like I will tell you off, I'll do a lot of things, but I want to see you succeed, because once you succeed, I'll be happy. That gives me goosebumps. I know, you know what, we've done that, then on to the next thing. But so I'm proud of her for actually doing this. You know, I can't wait to see more videos.
Right?
And
it's great. I think my head is always in the clouds as well. I agree with what you're saying, because I can be very, I want to one day, and this is something I want. I think it's my personality to be very enthusiastic.
Right.
But I'm glad that we've met, because then you're like, okay, what's the plan? Like, what are you doing for you to get? I see you're suffering, you're crying, you want so much for yourself. Like, I think it's so important to surround yourself with people that are, okay, what's the plan? Okay, and how are we going to get you there? Okay, what do you need? Do you need clients? Do you need equipment? Do you need me to show up? And I'm like, okay, I have clients.
I'll stick it on you. Like, to be honest, I'll stick it on you, because for me, it's like, talk is cheap. You know what I mean? Like, talk is really cheap. Like, I say that too, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you want it, alright, fuck it, like, let's go for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be there to support whatever. Tell me what it is that you want. Listen, I'll get people at your doorstep. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. The more people around you succeed, it tells you live in a legacy, because when you leave this earth, you know you've touched a lot of people's lives. You know what I mean? Rather than just, okay, you my friends would chill, would drink, and everything, it's all good. But if you're not moving forward ahead, I know that's gonna be something that you're always gonna like live to regret. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone, like, you want to know that you kind of helped a lot of people kind of like I mean, get to that bit.
Thanks, Coach. I coined, nobody used to say coach before me, right?
No,
think about it.
So. I don't know.
Coach. Because I feel like, sure, we train, but the coaching aspect comes with me understanding. And I think the biggest, most important lesson you taught me was that failure is part of the process. Like, it's normal. As someone who's like an A student, I only ever did things that I knew I was going to be good at. Like, if I'm not going to be good at it, then why am I doing it? Like, I needed to boost my ego. I need everybody to say, I'm so proud of you. I need my parents to be like, my girl, you're doing the thing. But I think just even being here and like watching you just move, like in the presence of whatever happening, just move. I'm glad that I surround myself with people that do so well in the face of adversity. Like, it's contagious. So thank you for the lesson on failure being normal. Like,
it's beautiful.
Fail fast.
Failure is beautiful, man.
Fail fast so you can learn the lessons and move.
Move on.
And I feel like I'm playing catch up now, because I have a lot of failures to just move past, and I can learn.
That's it.
So that's my approach in the next couple of months. Fail forward, fail fast, and learn as much as I can.
Exactly. We learn so much in failure than we do in success, though.
Yeah.
So well done. Let's keep failing and let's keep enjoying the process and just keep moving forward. But seriously, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. What's the podcast called?
I don't know. It's just the channel. Do you want to give me a name?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
You have to have a name. It's probably like Coach's Talk Show. You know, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for being here. I know how busy you are. I appreciate it.
No, this is my pleasure, man, for real.
Thanks guys for watching.
Thanks, and don't forget, subscribe, like the channel, send her love, thumbs up and everything, you know what I mean? Drop comments and everything, but she's definitely ace, and just stay tuned and keep watching the beautiful things she's got coming up in the future. Yeah, until then, it's Kosi and your boy. Peace.